to MSA, we really had no standards for meat quality. So when MSA was developed, it then gave us a benchmark to aim for and to work for. There's a lot of information and a lot of data that we can get out of MSA based on the performance of our animals and the quality of the carcasses. So we can use that performance data to then go back to suppliers of cattle. It's important that the producers get that information to be able to supply the right cattle into the supply chain.
David's getting such great results because he's working really well with his buyers. So the cattle that are coming in are obviously young, they've had a really easy run through life, and so their ossification scores will be quite low. And the other thing they're doing is marbling quite well, and so they've obviously got to have the genetic potential to do that on one hand, but on the other hand, they're getting a high energy ration for the last sort of 70 days of their life. So their potential to marble can be realised through that good feed.
Each morning we do a run around the feedlot and look at the feed bunks to have a look at what feed is left from the day before. The idea is to have feed in front of the cattle around 23 hours a day, but you don't want excess feed left over, so we set the rations for each pen of cattle. We can adjust the rations either up or down in quantity depending on what the cattle need. The cattle start on a lower grain, higher roughage diet, which we call a pre-start. And then we go to an intermediate ration, our starter ration. So the grain is kicking up to around 50% and the roughage drops down a little bit. And then they'll kick over to the finisher ration, which is going up to 73% barley, and they'll stay on that for the rest of their feeding period. And we use a probiotic in the feed. It helps the rumen microbes develop and get the good microbes working in the gut. We do a lot of training with our staff on low stress handling. All the movement of cattle is done by horseback. It's so important for the quality of meat. The quieter and the better we can handle our cattle, the lower the stress, the better the quality of the meat. And at the end of the day, that's what we're about, is providing the best quality product that we possibly can.
There's two things that other producers could really take away from what David's doing here. He's getting the cattle that really suit the market that he's chasing, and then backgrounding the cattle. So when they come into the feedlot and they get on to feed, they're doing really well from the start. Happy cattle are productive cattle.